Welcome to a Soul Infused Monday, your show for a meaningful and inspired start to your week. So I'm excited that you're here. And today's topic is how to handle doubt, insecurity, panic, and the energetical way. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know everything about me as energy. That's the world I'm living. That's what I'm teaching for over 18 years now. And so I want to give an energetical perspective and also just share with you how I handled these situations. Now, before I go any further, say hello and let me know where you're watching from, okay? And let's start by taking a nice deep breath. That's always great. Take a nice deep breath. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Take a nice deep breath. Relax and allow yourself to become fully present and remove any distractions. Remove any distractions. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Tina. Hi, Pamela. Emily. Hello. Lynn. These are my people. Yes. Great. I love you guys. Lisa made it. Linda made it. Fantastic. Woohoo! This is just the dream team here today. That's my favorite people. Okay, so if you're new to this show, this is Soul Infused Monday. I'm Sonia Bueno de la Torre. I'm very passionate about helping you on your journey, navigating this crazy life, especially this year. And I am very transparent always, as you know. So what I'm sharing with you today, I literally did last night with you in a moment. I always love to really take the things that are currently happening to us, to all of us, because it's a very challenging time. It's a very challenging year for many of us, for many different reasons, okay? And so I always love to be transparent, and I will be as clear and share with you exactly what I did so that this will be valuable to you. So I just want to say hello to Darlene. Hello, Laura. Misha. We love you too. Thank you. Thank you. This is just like incredible. You are such a beautiful community. I'm so blessed. So I've decided to talk about this today because changes are happening to a lot of people. Changes are happening in the world, in the matrix, in humanity, I would even say. And of course, induced a little bit to the whole COVID pandemic, but now everybody also has to deal with their own personal issues, right? And anxiety, doubt, insecurity, dealing with uncertainty, all of these issues are just heightened and more intensified than ever. Now, if you've been on the journey for a while, if you are on the path, you have experienced that as well on a very conscious level. Now, my experience, and I want to share that with you because you might resonate with this as well, because it's very easy to go into self-judgment, especially when we've been on the path for a long time and then we are struggling. And then there's a different type of judgment that comes from, oh yeah, my God, I'm so spiritual, I'm so far ahead, I did this, I did that, I shouldn't struggle. Now, I want you to know that first of all, don't listen to that voice because number one, it's not true and everybody struggles in a way. And to even look at it from a positive perspective, that if you're someone very committed on the path, very advanced on the path, or on the path in some way or another consciously, and when I talk about being on the path, I mean someone that takes responsibility, someone that goes and is interested in learning and growing, who invest in themselves. So if you are someone who has been on the journey, and it doesn't matter if it's a year or if it's 25 years, or maybe even longer, the more you do that, the more authentic you get, the more aware you get, the more you learn, the more you grow, the more sensitive you get, the more aware you are. Now that is beautiful, and I think the thing that we really want to attain in this life. At the same time, it makes you more sensitive, and you see more clearly, and you are noticing this effect stronger sometimes than someone who doesn't do the work, because they're just being busy with the outside world, and there's no judgment. I mean, we all have our tranquilizers of choice, right? But the more sensitive you are, the more aware you are, the more conscious you are, the further along you are on the path as a light worker or as any person, as a human being. It seems sometimes that the intensity of how we feel it is stronger. However, it's not necessarily intensity, it's just that you are more aware. So I want to acknowledge you for that, by the way. So I want you to take a moment to celebrate your struggles, to acknowledge your relentlessness, whatever, commitment to show up here every Monday, or to show up in your community, show up in your family in some way or another, and not to give up. And I want to acknowledge that about you. I see you, and I can say that because I'm one of those too. Okay. Hi, Monica. Hi, Amy. Alyssa is here. Wow, this gets better and better. I love you guys. So, having said all of that, last night I woke up in the middle of the night and I literally had a panic attack. I felt so anxious. I had a hard time relaxing, and it's just a lot going on this year. And what came, the main, not the main, but one of the biggest issues in my mind was doubt and insecurity. Now, you don't know the details, and I'm not going to go into the details of my current life situation because it's not about that, but just to give you a little bit of perspective, because it relates to your own personal situation. And you can use this anytime you are in a panic mode, in an anxious mode, in an insecurity or doubt mode. Now, I'm curious, right here today, or last week, or this month, or this year, can you relate? Do you have moments where you feel like, oh, I don't know what to do, or oh my God, I'm so anxious, I don't know what to do, or I just feel so uncertain, so insecure? And you might even think, I know I have the answers, but I can't hear them right now. Or there is no clarity, and it feels like you're just stumbling in the dark, even though you keep moving. Can you relate to that? Leave me a comment. How does that sound to you? Does this resonate with you? And can you relate? Leave me a comment below, and I'm going to take a sip of water. This is great, so transparent. Yeah, you're welcome. This is all the time, Lisa. I hear you. Yes, recently. Yes, have those moments constantly. Yeah, Rosie, I hear you. Yes, I can relate exactly like that. Okay, take a breath. You are not alone. And maybe even for, I don't know, maybe for you it's the first time, maybe not. But maybe for the first time, instead of feeling bad about it, acknowledge yourself for it. Acknowledge yourself for being on this path, for not kind of just falling back and going into old, and you just even keep moving forward in some way or another, even though you don't even know what's ahead of you. Take a moment right now to really acknowledge yourself, to be proud of yourself, and feel good about it. So I really hope you can do that for a moment, because that's how I feel. Yes, Lynn, and I was about to say that. On top of it is the full moon. So anything that you're experiencing right now is even more intensified. However, in my experience is we have weeks or months where it feels like the full moon is on all the time, right? Yeah, thank you for that, Lynn. Good reminder. I wanted to mention that. Yes, and Kathy, I woke up struggling with negativity this morning. Yeah, welcome to the club. You can change it though. You know, the solution will come in a moment. I just want to acknowledge where you are today. I want to connect with you first, engage, because sometimes we feel like alone with it, or the self-judgment jumps in very quickly. So now, right now, again, love yourself through it, acknowledge it, be proud of yourself. Even if a part of you thinks, why would I should be proud of myself? It's because you are showing up here. You should be proud of yourself, because most of humanity is not doing something conscious right now like you do. So you are very special and unique, at least in my book and at least in my world. Big time. I have to speak in front of a big group in the Hamptons. I keep doubting whether that what I say matters. I hear you, Alyssa. Yes, you're not alone, and of course it matters. That's not a question. And deep down you know it. Deep down you know it. It's just the stuff comes up. And again, solution will come in a minute. I mean, maybe 2 or 3. Yes, I'm trying to build an app and so many roadblocks. Yeah. Anytime we want to do something different, anytime we decide to change consciously, everything in us freaks out. It takes so much courage. Alyssa, it takes so much courage to speak in front of people. Pamela, it takes courage to build an app. Or what, you know, like it takes courage to do what, to wake up in the morning and to keep going, even if you don't feel like it. It takes so much courage. And you go for it. And that's most importantly what matters. I can relate to that much of the time, especially when I've just woken up. Yeah, mornings are the worst, or middle of the night, and I'm going to talk about this as well. That's why a morning routine is so crucial. If you don't have a consistent morning routine at the moment, go back to my Soul Infused Monday. I don't know the number right now, but it is how to create a powerful morning routine. You gotta have that set, because how you set the tone in the morning sets the tone for the rest of the day. So if you wake up negative, or if you wake up panicked, or if you wake up in doubt and insecurity, and you don't shift that, your whole day is gonna go in that energy, and that's terrible. Yeah. Wow, you guys, you have so many comments. I really want to share those, because you are here together. We are all here together as a community, you know, like, and your comments support also someone else. Yes, I can relate. Many times when I've awakened in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep, I listen to your divine meditation. Beautiful. And often I fall asleep again. Yeah, that's a really great. I so believe in you. It tails. You are incredible. You get it always. I do, because of you. Yeah, I do get it. And that's why I'm sharing it. You know, don't believe ever. I say so many times. If you look at someone out there and they seem to have it all together, I mean, nobody has it all together all the time. We are all human beings. Yes, I have maybe a different level of skill. I have a different level of experience. I have a different level, just for the fact that I do this for a living, and I've been doing this for 23 years. Now, yes, however, that doesn't mean I don't get to revisit and face this stuff. I just like to share about it and teach it, and also give you a sense of, hey, everybody deals with that. And especially this year, I mean, I can, anywhere where I talk to people and they open up, and I obviously very open and transparent, I have yet to find someone who says, oh no, I'm not struggling, like this year is like a breeze. No, everything is fine. It's not. It is, but it's not. One step. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I did, and I'm going to share a little bit of the energetics. Now, some of the things that I'm sharing are very practical things, what I did tonight. I might do another time something different, but I think it's valuable to hear some practices that you can do. And the number one thing is to also understand that you can do something about it. And even if you stay stuck in it for a while, that's okay, dude. You are allowed to experience this. This is a very challenging time. And self-judgment does not help you, and it's the last thing you need, okay? You need to be your best friend right now. You need to be your best friend right now. I'm very blessed with the most amazing friends. So that helps as well. And I get to be my friend right now. And I get to love myself through the worst and to the darkest moments, and so do you, okay? So the first thing I did, so I woke up and I felt this. Now, to give a bit of perspective without going into details, I decided to move out of my apartment and potentially leave this country and move somewhere else. Now, I've decided that because it was a feeling, like, because I follow guidance, even if it's totally unclear, even if I have no idea what's coming. And that's a very courageous thing to do. And I've done this for the last, since I've been on the journey consciously. Now, with everything else that's going on this year and the challenge that I had already, deciding to move out of this beautiful place that I'm living, that you most likely have seen before. If you've never seen it, maybe you see it for the last time. This is where I live. Did you notice that my pictures are not there anymore? Anyway, so that's the decision that I made, and I have not, don't ask me any questions, I have no idea where I'm moving yet. So that obviously creates anxiety. So there's more to it, but I've decided to leave this apartment, and I've canceled my lease that was coming up now without knowing yet where to go. I didn't know if I would take another apartment. I didn't know if I would leave the country. I just didn't know what to do. But I knew the only thing that I was very clear is I need a change. It's time to say goodbye. And even though I don't know, I listen to it. So then I've decided to move into a different apartment for 3 months to figure it out where I want it. It's way smaller, it's way cheaper, so that way I can maybe travel, I can figure things out. But it's an apartment in a neighborhood, and not only the neighborhood, it's just an apartment that I would not necessarily want to move into, but it felt like as a transition, it's just the right thing to do. But then I doubt it sometimes, and I freak out about it. So that happened, just as a little background, okay? So I woke up, and I was like, oh my God, did I make the right decision? Is this the right apartment? I should have never canceled my lease. What am I thinking? What the hell is going on? And I was like in this anxiety, panic mode, and my inner child was freaking out, okay? The reason why you are in that mode doesn't matter, but you understand that when you wake up, or it can be in the middle of the day, and you feel like, I'm doubting my decision. I don't know if that was the right thing. I'm anxious for whatever your reason is, okay? So what I did, and I'm so transparent, okay? So what I did at 2:30 in the morning, I sent a message to a friend. And here's why. I'm going to tell you why that was important. I sent a message to a friend, and that has to be a friend that, like, not just a random person. You know, I shared with you, someone that can hold space for you, that sees you, doesn't try to fix, and does also understand that there's nothing wrong with you and that you're just having a moment and you need a witness, okay? I also knew that at 2:30 in the morning, nobody would respond to me necessarily, right? So I sent this message to my friend, and I wrote, I'm in total panic mode. I'm reading it from my phone, so that I'm in total panic mode and having a tough night. By the time you get this, it might be all good, but just in case, can you check in with me later? Now, why is this relevant? One of the things when you are in a stressful experience, anxiety or doubt, insecurity, panic, we often are so alone with it and energetically isolated and totally spinning. So even though I knew I wouldn't get a response from her in that moment, me just verbalizing and putting it out there helped to release some of it, and also the feeling of, hey, I'm not alone. And even though I was fairly sure that I would be okay, I knew someone will check in on me later. So one of the tips that on how to handle things is don't handle them all by yourself. Reach out to someone, whether they can read it or not, whether they respond to you or not. To my private clients, I often say, hey, send me an email if you have a freak out, or you can always send me something. It doesn't mean I respond to you. It doesn't mean right away I'm available. But the simple fact that you can reach out to me and share helps you, and I will be there in some way. So that is one thing that I did. Then, after like 30 minutes, that I knew I was tossing and turning. I knew this, I couldn't fall asleep, obviously, anymore. And I knew it wouldn't just go away. And I knew I had to face and address what was coming up. I was aware, obviously, it was mainly a child. Was freaking out. Now, if you have not done inner child work, this might sound new to you, but if you've done some inner child work, or if you've worked with me in the past, or currently working with me privately, you know inner child is always part of a strong freak out. So I decided to get up to meditate. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, I understand that when you are in such a state of being, the last thing you want to do sometimes is to sit down and meditate, because you think you cannot do it, because your energy is so overwhelming and so scattered and so frazzled. Now, again, depending on where you are on the journey, this is what helped me and what I would recommend, whether it feels good or not, but tossing and turning in bed won't do the trick, okay? So I got up, and before I sat down on my meditation cushion, and I did something else first that I want to share with you as well. And I know you have comments here. I just want to make sure this, I'm talking, I want to give so much in such a short time. There you feel amazing. Yeah, you're so welcome, Rosie. Hi, Xenia. Yeah, and if you have any questions, let me know. I'm not moving to America, not that I know of. Maybe I do, Alyssa. I don't know. Megan, that's interesting, because I'm moving now too, and I didn't know the change was coming. Yeah. Hey, we are all in change together. I completely understand. Okay, good. So no questions here. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything, and I love all your comments, so please keep them coming, okay? Now, I sat down on my meditation cushion at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, I am a very consistent and dedicated meditator. I am a real meditator. When I say real, it doesn't mean that someone is not real. But there's, like, meditation is part of my life. No matter what, there are very few moments where I might skip a meditation, and that's because I'm either in severe pain physically, or I went through surgery or something, but very rarely, maybe it's a day, but I am consistently meditating, and I know that I can shift my energy when I do that. It doesn't always work out, but I'm very committed and consistent, okay? So that makes a huge difference. Now, because I was in such energy, I sat down, and the first thing I did before I even meditated by myself, I listened to something on Insight Timer. Now, Insight Timer is an app that most of you know, but even if you don't know, it doesn't really matter, because it doesn't mean that you would listen to the same thing that I did. But I listened something for a few minutes to help me shift already. And I'm going to tell you, for those who enjoy my work and you have the Insight Timer, here's what I did, because it's also not so very long. I listened first to an audio that is 7 minutes long, and it's called, I have to check it out here because I did it this morning. It's called Love and Light for Challenging Times. It's an anxiety relief audio, 7 minutes long. So if you don't know it, I don't know if you see it. So that helped me because, and I listened to this one because I recorded this one when I went through something similar. So I knew that Sonia on this phone was understanding what I was going through. So I listened to her voice, and then I listened to another 2-minute affirmations for a quick energy boost. Now, you don't have to listen to me, and it doesn't have to be something on Insight Timer, but what was helpful, or what is helpful if you're so caught up and you want to meditate, to let something else ease you into the process. Of course, I also chose to listen to this because for me it's important that it's something that's going to uplift me energetically. Does that make sense so far? Hi, Debbie. Is it on YouTube? What's her name? Love and Light for Anxiety Times. What do you mean, Alyssa? Is it on YouTube? What's her name? My name. It's me. If that's what you mean. Her name is Sonia Buono della Torre. And Emily's moving maybe too. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I have Insight Timer. Yes. So, and what I listen to is from me. So if you're following me on Insight Timer, you will find it there. It's called Love and Light for Challenging Times. Okay. Okay. So now I did that, and then I meditated. Now, from an energetical perspective, that's why I call it the energetic way. If you don't shift your energy It's very hard to get out of an anxious, panic, or overwhelmed mode. Why? Because the mind is tripping, and the mind will try to figure it out or control or just spin. Now, the reality and truth is, when you are in the problem in some way, caught up, you are generally blind to the solution, or you are not centered, you are not in touch with your wisdom, you are not grounded, your energy is not inside, like you are, yeah, you got to come back to yourself. So that's why focusing on shifting the energy is so important, because you're not going to change this state of experience or state of mind or state of being with thinking or the mind, even though the mind will try to talk you through. But all it does, it is this little hamster in a wheel, you know, like spinning, spinning, spinning. Does that make sense? It's a very important piece. So when you are caught up in a severe stress trigger or stressful situation, you are not going to fix it through the mind. Does that make sense? Okay. So from an energy perspective, and you can tune in with me if you like, because while I teach something, I usually do it, and you can tune into my field and do it for yourself if you experience any of what I just shared yourself. Number one is, when we feel into that, is like we are not centered within, we are outside of ourselves, energetically speaking. Now you want to bring your energy back in. It's a skill. If you don't know how to do that, or if you can use some of my guided meditations, or you can connect with me if you need some help, or you can work with someone that does the deeper inner work from an energetical perspective. But even if you just imagine it right now and you just set the intention, you bring your energy back in. Instead of being all frazzled, all over the place, you want to bring your energy in. You want to bring your energy in. You want to bring it to the core channel. You want to open up the back of the chakra so that you can balance again. And one of the key chakras that, it's more than one, but I would say, I will mention three. There's more to do. But the first thing you want to do is you want to focus on your base chakra, because the base is collapsed and pulled up, not collapsed, pulled up and tight and tense and like a ball like this when we are in anxiety. Now, first thing you want to do is you want to open up your base. You want to relax your base. You want to open the base so that you can even have a first sense of grounding, of centering. Then another crucial part is your second chakra, the belly, that is related to your inner child. The experience that you have is as if an inner child is freaking out about the unknown, and you got to take care of your inner child. I'm not going to go into this how, and this is a way advanced and other topic, a different topic, and I speak about this in other shows as well. And you get to do the deeper inner work with a trusted counselor, therapist, coach, like I do with my clients as well. So you want to bring your second chakra in, you want to take care of your child, and you want to give it space in the back. And then once you've done that, then it's when you want to move up. You always want to move up. However, you got to address first what's going on down there, because you cannot bypass that. And then you want to move up, and you go to your third eye, you open the third eye, you open the crown, you go to a higher place. Because the solution only happens, the shift only happens when we are out of the mud, so that we can see clear again. Because when we are in it, we are not seeing clear. We're just anxious, in panic, super overwhelmed. That's not the reality. That's all we see. So you get to shift above that, literally as if you are drowning underwater, and you gotta get up so your head is above water, and then you can see. And then from there, you relax. And it might not shift right away 100%. That's okay. It's not about perfection. It's about shifting enough that you have a conscious mind. And then what I did was I was tuning into, why am I leaving? Why am I changing? Like, why am I doing this? and to see, and what I got as well when I went up, that's why I went up, because then I connect to who I really am. I connect to my wisdom. I look to my soul. I connect to the guidance that I'm following. Even though I sometimes wish that could be a little bit more clear, right? Do you know that feeling? Okay, so I also got a really good reminder that I'm going to share with you in just a second. I just want to make sure I don't miss any comments here, because I think you are amazing and I want to acknowledge anything you're sending me here. Also, if you're on the replay right now and you're leaving me a comment, you're short, I will see and read it and get back to you. Makes sense? And thank you for the wonderful suggestions. You're so welcome, Laura. Oh, I misunderstood. You are the best to listen to. Thank you, Alyssa. It's all good. Love and light. Yes, thank you, Debbie, for sharing that. That meditation is great. Helped me so much during lockdown, especially. Thank you, Amy, for saying that. Yeah, if you're not following me on Insight Timer yet, go ahead and do so. I have really great stuff in there, and it's completely free. Energy shift. I just have a client shift with my Tai Chi. Yeah, energy. Whatever your tool is, maybe you have a different tool. What you just shared, it could be any other. It doesn't matter how you shift your energy. Just shift it in some way and get help. What do you do with the belly chakra? Yeah, I cannot go into details here, but that's too. That would. I don't have the time to do that here, but it's ultimately bringing the belly chakra in and working on the inner child to clear the wounds and the holes that might be there, the leakages, and to learn how to deal with your inner child as part of the second chakra work. Inside Timer recorded. I don't know what you mean, Debbie. I'm not talking about the live events. The live events on Inside Timer are not recorded, if that's what you mean. Okay, so the message, no, the reminder I got, okay, that was so crucial, especially for you if you're on a spiritual path. And again, I want to emphasize that when I say what I'm going to say, this is for those who are on the path, who are taking responsibility and are on the journey of growth. If you're not, I don't know what your path looks like, okay? But I want to make sure that it's very important, no matter what you're experiencing, even if it's sometimes blame and victimhood and anger. And I spoke about this last week. Last week was a really great show about how you can use those emotions to actually get you out of a very depressed state. You want to go back to that one if you haven't seen that one. Now, otherwise, always take 100% responsibility for your experience. The reminder that I got very clearly, because sometimes we ask, if am I still on the right path? Is this the right decision? Do you doubt sometimes if you made the right decision, or you don't know which way to go? Now, on some level, you know that you have the answers already, but because we are in that low, tumultuous, overwhelmed state, we can't see it. So that's why the shift is so important. Now, what was very clear to me when I shifted my energy and I reached up again, and I had more clarity, and the guidance was very clear. There is no wrong path. There is no wrong path. As long as you're on the path, you're on your right path. And I want to emphasize that again. And again, I'm saying this to you if you are on the path of consciousness and responsibility. If you are, that you're not watching actually, but you know, I just want to make that very clear. Someone watches this at some point in the future and is not taking responsibility, or is not like committed to learning and growing, this might not apply to you, but it applies to you if you're on a conscious path. There is no wrong path and there's no wrong decision. It's part of the path. Sometimes it feels worse, sometimes it feels better. And sometimes we are stumbling in the dark, it feels, because we don't see it. But that's what really is. Trust and path is to keep walking, to keep trusting, to keep following. And that was such a great reminder that it anchored my inner child. My inner child still doesn't like the fact that I'm moving out here. And I understand her. This has been a beautiful, safe place for a couple of years. It's gorgeous at the beach. It's just like my inner child wants security. My inner child doesn't know what's coming. So I get to really take care of her. And she is allowed to feel that way. And also to understand it's temporary. I can change my mind, move somewhere else if I don't like this other place, but it's only for 3 months anyway. So I was on here much longer than I intended to, but it's just coming, and you guys so amazing here engaging with me. So before you leave, stay here for another minute and tune in. What is your biggest takeaway today? Don't go anywhere without reflecting in and really pick something. What resonated with you? What's landing for you? What is the biggest takeaway for you from this show today? And leave a comment below. And while you do that, I'm going to check other comments and say 1 or 2 other closing words. But I'm going to stay here for a moment. And if you're watching the replay, or if you're listening to the replay in some way or another, somewhere in a different platform, leave a comment or send me an email or a message and share your biggest takeaway. I'm going to take a sip of water. Wow, I was like, whew. That's a reassuring. Yes, Amy. Yes, I'm with you. It is. There's no wrong path. That is profound to me. Yes, Emily. I know. I can feel. I can feel it. I know. There's no wrong path. I get goosebumps all over the place right now. There's no wrong path. This is a reminder for all of us. Bravo, genius show. Thank you, Pamela. You guys, you're amazing. Love this. I love that. She's allowed to feel that way. So impactful. Lisa, great. Great takeaway. Share with me, what's your biggest takeaway? What is your biggest takeaway? Takeaway. If stay on path of self-growth and learning journey, there is no wrong decision or wrong path, no matter how it feels then. Super great takeaway, Debbie. I know I have something to say. So good to have the reminder. Love you too, Alyssa. Yes. You have something to say. And it's okay to be terrified before you speak. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay that your inner child is going to freak out before. It's okay, and you will be. You breathe through it, and once you're there and once you are tapping into what you are sharing, you're going to be fine. You're very welcome, Mandy. Here's another takeaway. The importance of making the energetical shift to move out of panic mode. Yes, this is a great takeaway. That's the most important piece. Yes. So important. Thank you for sharing, Linda. Amy, you're never on the wrong path if you're on the path. Yes, such a great takeaway. I knew this was meaningful to you. That's why sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to talk about on this show. And always it's something that we are needed to hear. Lynn, your inner child is allowed to feel what she feels. I love how your community totally supports you too. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, me too. I love that. Here's another takeaway. Reach up to the higher wisdom of yourself for your guidance. Ooh, huge. I sound like a broken record over the last however years I've been doing this here on social media. The only way is up. You gotta go in, deal with your stuff, and then you go up. Biggest takeaway here for Tina. Reach out to someone. Yeah, there's no wrong path. Thank you so much. You're so welcome. Yes. Laura, as long as I'm on this spiritual path journey, the path I choose is always the right path. Yes. It's sinking in so deeply. I can feel it. Let it sink in deeper. You are on the right path. And if you feel insecure and doubtful, that's okay too. And then you do all the steps. But be in acceptance and self-love and become your best friend on this journey. I was talking to a friend, I have incredible friends, and I shared something with one of my best friends this morning. because I thought I have amazing friends. I have amazing friends who have been with me on this journey for so long. And specifically this year, that has been a shit show, right, left, and center, so many times. And they've been with me throughout all. And I was like, I'm so blessed. I have such amazing friends. And then I thought, in order to have such amazing friends, and this might make me cry because it's not an easy thing to acknowledge. In order to have such amazing friends in my life, I need to be an amazing friend. Otherwise, I wouldn't have that. And I say this humbly and with tears in my eyes, because to acknowledge and share that is very vulnerable. But it's the truth. So if you have an amazing friend in your life, if you have someone that deeply cares about you, it's because of you. It's because of you. And I want to share that with you too, because sometimes when we are in the darkness or we don't see and we are triggered and all of that stuff comes up and we become blind for a moment, we forget that. But the fact that someone cares about you, I care about you. I do this every Monday because I care about you. How can you not be an amazing human being, a spiritual, beautiful soul? So having said that, I hope this is a takeaway for someone as well. When you feel bad about yourself, to remind yourself, if you have even only one amazing friend, if you don't have any friends at all, that I can't even believe anyone here would have that, but if you don't have any friends at all, then I would go inside and check what's maybe inside of me that's blocking that, right? But thank you for being part of this community as well, because I'm doing this for you and I'm doing this with you, you know? Again, the same, as long as I'm on a spiritual journey, the path I choose always the right path. Love, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Here's another takeaway, and I'm sure those, because when you hear the anchor in, you sharing them will anchor them in. Mind can never, capital, get me out of a panic mode. Great takeaway, Emily. Love that. You have such brilliance. Thank you, Debbie. Biggest takeaway, Darlene, shift my energy to inner wisdom with meditation. Yes, yes, and again, yes. Such a great community. Thank you, everyone. A great brilliant show. Thank you. Yes, and I hope you guys read your own, connect here. Some of you I connect with. You guys know each other, and what else? Kathy, thanks for reminding me to call my energy back and keep moving. Great takeaway, Kathy. Great takeaway. Okay, so much wisdom. Yes, thanks for the friendship reminder. Oh my, to have a friend, be a friend. Yes. Oh, yeah. To have to have that friend that sticks with you in your worst. Not in your brightest, because it's easy to be around someone that is shiny and bright and lifts you up and everything is great. But the real friends are those who love you and accept you in your worst. Now you get to do that too. You get to be your best friend. You get to love yourself through those moments too. And that's how I'm going to complete this show today. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for sticking longer today. It's longer than a usual show, and for me it felt like it felt like 5 minutes. So thank you for being here. Come back next Monday. I have no idea what the topic is going to be yet, but as you know, it's always going to be great and valuable. Thank you. I love you. Have a fantastic rest of your day, a fantastic start to your week. And I will see you soon. Much, much, much love.